Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News, and with the challenges underway here in the North American and the European side, there's been lots of talk about the format here heading into 2022. Nadeshot isn't particularly happy that 100 Thieves barely get to play at all, and even when they do play, they have to wait another week until they get another matchup. Very much intrigued your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd really appreciate it. Lots of great support over these last several days. Firstly, Valentine's Day, of course, yesterday. Thought this kind of funny from Asuna, of course, over at the 100 Thieves side that we're going to talk about today. Valorant, Valentine's, it's time to go for Valorant, right? That's the clear option. But, I mean, yeah, still. Also some roster stuff to consider. This from OG as well. I think there's been some trials going on lately. I think David P was even in discussion here, formerly of the Giants team that kind of, found himself in a tough spot when G2 came along and kind of nicked a load of players away from him. I think he actually might have potentially been joining this roster, but Lean comes in instead with the new OG Valorant side they're going for. And I think Metellian actually was considered. I think there was some trials going on, as I say, and they've decided not to go down that route. Lean's in the team. Interesting decision really from this organization, but this kind of is the crux of the issue really that Nadeshot's talking about, that Ye actually mentioned back in December. There's so many teams, because they didn't qualify for challenges, now they just have to sit there doing nothing for many months, hoping that they build a team good enough that yes, they can play in some of these kind of online tournaments and third-party organized tournaments, and hope that they qualify next time around to actually get a decent chance to get to challenges, to masters, to champions, and of course, beyond, to try and win the entire thing. It's very difficult to do that with the level of competition. This also from the version 1 side, and is joining as the coach of the version X team, so I'm pretty sure that's the female squad they've got going over there, so congratulations to these guys. They're trying to make some moves. But let's dive into what Nadeshot has to say over here. So a few days ago, of course, it was at the 100 Thieves guys. They played up against Cloud9. Pretty entertaining series, frankly, and we'll see Nadeshot's reaction to it here in a second. But there has been a fair bit of talk really about the format this season. Like, okay, at the end of the day, we've got 100 Thieves come through. Yes, the North American Cloud9 match was the first one we saw in the North American sides, but really these teams play very rarely indeed. Every team pretty much plays once per week, and after a few weeks of action, when they've played 5 games against the other teams in their group, then after, based on their placing, they then go to the Challengers playoffs, and if they place well there, they then get to go to Masters, and if they place well there, they get to Champions. That's kind of the thing to me. It feels kind of strange in a way that these teams, like, I'm pretty sure people want to see their team, their favorite team, play more often, right? And yes, of course, there were these open qualifiers a while ago, which of course, they had a lot of impact. There was a lot of games going on, but if you're a T1 fan, if you're a TSM fan or something, you don't really have much to watch your team nowadays, right? They're now out of there. They're not going to play in these big matches, and even the teams that are here for challenges, they don't really get to play that often. And yes, maybe Riot's idea here is like, okay, at the end of the day, maybe by doing this, you're allowing maybe third-party organizers to do a little bit more and have more tournaments throughout the course of the season. But I think most people would probably want to see their team play slightly more often in the in the official Riot matches, right? So I'll show a couple of clips here from Nadeshot. Firstly, reacting to 100 Thieves' defeat to Cloud9 a couple of days ago, but also then going on to say that, like, look, he comes from a Call of Duty background where there were tournaments all the time, and like the teams are always playing so many matches over the course of a weekend. That doesn't really happen anymore, especially with this group play format, and why he really thinks that we should actually be seeing some more matches here for these teams to play.
Bro, the whole Valorant format is so weird to me, man. Like the fact that we didn't play for like 4 or 5 months. We play one match this week and we don't play again now until next week. Like, what is happening, bro? Can we get some matches? Can we get some reps in? I know there's smaller tournaments, bro, but it's so strange to me. I don't like, as someone who came from a tournament structure where we would have like an event every month where at minimum you're playing 5 matches at the event, and that's if you get eliminated. You get pool play, then you go into bracket play, and that happened 6 times a year, bro. 6 events like that a year on top of all the online tournaments, bro. I gotta wait a whole week to watch us play another match. What is going on, bro? We haven't played for 4 months.
Nah, you guys, like more tournaments for sure. I 100% agree. Like
I kind of laugh my ass off, Matt, when you're like, yo, the Olympics is happening?
Yeah, like, bro, I had no idea the Olympics were going on, dude.
The gut from mid on this one. They have the rotation in their favor. Let's see if they can make this one work. Hunter's Fury is going to come right through to clear the backside of the site, but it's not going to hit Leaf.
Ethan's not going to flash through that?
Can we get a flash?
Kills now for C9. A big flash, allowing Leaf to get that easy kill back towards Berlin. Mitch then going to work at the same time, too, and that's going to be it. An easy
Maybe we didn't have utility, because I think we just walked through that wall.
2-0 over 100 Thieves. 2-0 over 100.
Cloud9 showing strong, coming through.
Damn.
As people probably
I gotta
toss
run a
few
target.
channel points
That
on
thing.
that
Be back
one
later.
to get the return on
brother.
investment. Yeah, I mean, we take a look at that last round of 100 Thieves.
They just giving him to the like,
Leaf
he's giving a handshake on guy, dog.
I'm gonna go lose 6 games in a row and ranked and D-ranked to Diamond 3. Don't worry.
Hey, don't forget to record it. Catch you guys later.
So Ye raised some kind of similar concerns back in December when he says, look, it's kind of messed up for the upcoming VCT that if you lose one open qualifier, as some teams did, you're out for the next several months in terms of Riot events. Like, you've got to try and qualify the second time round. As BGJ says, okay, maybe the idea here is to encourage more third-party tournament organisers to come in and fill these gaps. But even if you do qualify, as some of these teams have done, Nadeshot's like, look, I mean, how often really is 100 Thieves playing? Not that often. Like, we have to wait another week to see them play again. Even the way the Call of Duty League has done it lately, at least there's 5 games over the course of 3 weeks. So at least 2 out of the 3 weekends, the teams played twice rather than just once, which maybe would be slightly better rather than the format that we have right now. So anyway, this is how it goes in North America. Definitely intrigued to your thoughts on this though, because maybe it's just my perspective, being relatively new to the scene, that I feel like the team should play more often, and that maybe in League of Legends, right, they do it somewhat similar to this. But I think one of the benefits we have in esports, especially because these games are online, like these online qualification ones, and also because it's esports, right, it's not physically tiring in the same way that regular sports is. You can play many matches a day, you can play matches like over a course of a weekend. You don't have to just have one game a week like in regular sports. Like, and that's the advantage we have in esports. I think we should probably take advantage of that. But this is how we look to North America, right? So this is the current standings in the groups. Now, of course, the group stage goes. We had the Open Qualifier 1, Open Qualifier 2. Now we have the group stage over the course of a month pretty much. So these teams play 5 games over a month. If we look at the matches right here, you'll find that pretty much all these teams, like, of course, some of these games are completed, but every week the teams play once. For example, 100 of these play the Guard next weekend on a Sunday. The weekend after that, they play up against Luminosity right on the Sunday. The weekend after that, they play on Sunday again up against xNed. So it's like, pretty much every week they have a match, which isn't the end of the world, right? Okay, there's a match every week, but maybe it could be better. And I don't think you want to flood everyone with matches. You don't want to have too many matches at one time over the course of one day, because, people want to plan their schedule, right, so they can watch the Valorant when they can. But I think most people would say that, okay, maybe there should be some more games here overall, because especially then we look at the main event, and this kind of the thing that is strange to me in a way, that, okay, you've got to get through this, you've got to come top 4 in the group, then you qualify for the playoffs, then you go to the playoffs, and this is like a 10-day event, which I think a lot of esports would do this over the course of like one weekend. You'd have like 4 or 5 games going on in one single day that, smash through the upper and the lower brackets, but it's like 10 days to get through all of these games, which is pretty remarkable. And of course, if you come top 2 here, there is of course a prize for winning. If you win, you get $50,000, not too bad, but it's not really about winning. You can't really hoist the trophy and be too happy about it, because the only real goal is here to qualify for Masters. Then you go to Masters, for example, this is a Masters Reykjavik from last year, where Sentinels won, and yes, they win 200k, but of course, you win this and you get to go to Champions, right? So it's kind of like every single thing you win, it's like, it kind of almost feels like a high victory until you win Champions. So it's like, if you are a fan of 100 Thieves, for example, they're currently 0-1. Let's say they don't, particularly turn up and they actually find themselves in 5th and 6th spot right here. They don't get to go to playoffs. So you've been a 100 Thieves fan for like many months. You've waited 4 months in this very long off season where they haven't played at all because they haven't had to play in these open qualifiers. Then they fail to qualify for playoffs, so they only got to play like 5 games over the course of a month in March, and now they've got to go again to try and like re-qualify, I guess. So I don't know, I just feel like there's less games than there certainly could be. Intrigued to your thoughts though. This also for me that I thought was worthy of mention. Fracture is low-key a top tier map. Interesting take really, I think, from some of the 100 Thieves guys. Certainly some talk about Fracture lately, like is it actually any good or not? Because a lot of the pros, they're not the biggest fan of buying. There's other maps as well that have been causing some degree of controversy. Ethan reckons it's pretty good. Of course, in ranked, maybe a little bit of a different question. Thwifo from T1 says, okay, too complicated for ranked. In ranked, not the biggest fan, but in pro game, I've actually quite enjoyed the Fracture that I've managed to watch so far. This is also talking about some of the challenges going on in other regions. In Thailand, it currently looks like this. Now, you guys might be confused because X10 Crit right here in Group A, they of course were the dominant team in this region really last year. But Xerxia are now a new organisation that's come through and bought out the former X10 Crit roster. So they're dominating Group C right now, as you may well expect. Full sense here as well at the top of Group D, only 1-0 at the present time. Also wanted to look at some stats here from the challenger side over these last several days. The Liquid versus Gambit game peaked at 213,000 views. Kind of impressed really. BBL Gil like 200,000. I'm pretty sure in the North American side it's slightly more spread out in terms of like these top 3 games all in the European side in the EMEA region. Like they all got a lot of viewership, and Liquid Gambit, for example, well over 200k, 124k average viewership, and actually almost identical in North America, right? 124k again. Peak viewership higher though. Sentinels NRG almost 250k. That was an impressive one. but then it, well, falls off somewhat significantly further down from that. So the European region, it seems to have a bit more of a spread out fan base across all the different teams, but of course, like, Sentinels are going to bring in the viewership, but look, if they got to play more often, then we'd get to see them play, even if they condense the season instead of these kind of group play matches where over 5 weeks, they condense them into 3 weeks, they then had the challenges a little bit earlier, they then had like another cycle for Masters, right? They could probably fit 3 stages instead of just 2 stages in, so there was 3 Masters events. Like, if they condense it a little bit more, then we'd have more Valorant to watch, which I'm sure would be good for everyone, really. And I think the players generally want to play more of these type of matches as well. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on a like button. Tell us, YouTube gods, this is a good video. And as like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thank you as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.